President Donald Trump speaking out about the massive downward revision by the Labor Department on new job growth. The Republican nominee for president accusing the Biden-Harris administration of padding the numbers. This after the Labor Department reported monthly payroll statistics overstated new jobs by roughly 818,000. Here with reaction, Brandon Arnold is the executive vice president of the National Taxpayers Union. David Hebert is an economist with the American Institute for Economic Research. Gentlemen, welcome. Brandon, what do you make of this downward revision and the fact that Trump's calling it out?
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge number here, and it really undermines the Biden administration's talking point because for years they have been trying to gaslight the American public and tell us that the economy is great, despite the fact that all you need to do is go out and talk to your neighbor, talk to your coworker, and they will tell you the economy is not so great. And we've seen that with inflation, with high interest rates, but they've said, well, job numbers are strong. Job numbers are really strong. Again, this really undermines that narrative that the job market is as strong as the Biden administration has been claiming it is for years. It is not a great economy out there. Newsflash.
Yeah. And David, maybe you can explain sort of the timing of this revision. Why did it take so long to come out to the public?
Yeah, in terms of the half-hour delay that it took to get out to the public, it's anyone's guess as to why that happened. But I mean, look, revisions happen all the time. This is not, out of the norm. What is out of the norm is the magnitude. 818,000 is a pretty big number. It amounts to overestimating the number of jobs in the economy by about 40%. And so that is a huge error. Now, what's important about these numbers is they're not just mere academic numbers that, professors and academics are going to use for, various studies. These are numbers that a lot of federal bureaus are going to use when setting policy. For example, Jerome Powell at the Federal Reserve will use these numbers when setting monetary policy targets. I have to wonder, what would monetary policy look like today if they had more accurate information sooner?
Sure. Well, maybe you take a closer look at the polls and they ask how people are feeling about the economy. It's not good, despite the Biden administration touting all of these sort of statistics that I guess they've been handed that now need to be revised. The Commerce Secretary, Gina Raimondo, was asked about this government data. She serves in the Biden-Harris administration, and here's what she had to say.
When you hear that, do you potentially think that this new numbers could be a liability for this campaign?
No. When I hear that, first of all, I don't believe it because I've never heard Donald Trump say anything truthful.
It is, though, from the Bureau of Labor.
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, Brandon. Seems a little odd. The Commerce Secretary is not familiar with that. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely bizarre. I mean, just because they distrust Donald Trump, they distrust the department that she is a cabinet secretary in. This is bananas here. Listen, the numbers are the numbers here. The downward revision is the downward revision. The economy is not so hot. They need to start working on their talking points in this administration, and they need to start putting forward policies that actually will help Americans. And I don't think $4 trillion in tax increases and price controls at the grocery store are going to get the job done. We need actual legitimate solutions, not made up nonsense.
And David, when you hear that, does that instill confidence in these cabinet positions that are serving under President Biden and Vice President Harris?
Cabinet positions and cabinet members have to do a lot of work, and they are at the DNC rally right now instead of at their desk. It is a little bit troubling that the secretary did not know this information, in real time, at least be able to comment on it at the DNC, and then tried to pivot to, saying this can't be real because President Trump said it. That seems a bit strange.
Yeah, indeed. Americans can see through it all. David Hebert and Brandon Arnold, thanks so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
With the DNC ongoing, President Trump back on the campaign trail, this election could very well come down to one state, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Congressman Dan Muser